Dallas stinks.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes.
I'm a grown-ass man. See, I'm a grown-ass man. Grown-ass man. Hey, everybody. King Dingbat here. I'm in my garage with a cigar. It's only a candy cigar because my wife won't let me smoke one after I put that big fat head up in our bedroom. Let's get rid of that. At this point, I'd be happy for Dak to be playing for somebody else. And my team stinks. I agree. Stinks.
They laugh about us. We're a disgrace. We suck.
I am now Philly 500's bitch.
Dallas still stinks. You been doing think by here, and let me say this. I am here to tell you, the sky is not falling for Eagles. All things are not bad. All things aren't collapsing. And if you listen to the internet, if you're online, that's all you hear is the negative stuff. But that isn't the case. That's why we're here to bring another perspective to the whole entire thing. What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Little Griffith, what's going on? Logan Motorsports, I see that your name is back, my man. What's going on with that? Loyalty Houston, Kevin, what's going on? Filioso, my man, what's happening? Alfredo, Mav, Daniel, Philly Luke, Rocco, Paisan, what's up? Jay Tyler, Philly Bird, Underdog Champ, Mayday, D Haas, Little Jordan, hi Philly, what's up Miss T Nev, Maurice, G59, Philly Luke, Donnie, Robert, Antonio, Willis, Samuel, everybody's piling in. Anybody I miss, I appreciate it. I think we should really start with the news that came out earlier today, and that is that the Eagles have signed offensive tackle Markel Bell, meaning all 8 of the Eagles' 2026 draft picks are now under contract. Everybody is good to go. Everybody is signed. And that's exactly what you want before heading into camp. It's very rare that the Eagles have a holdout anymore. I remember when I was younger, back like late 80s, 90s, that would happen. Does not really happen today. Bald Eagle, my man, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I was just listening to the Celia show, and someone had a great take. They said the Carter situation is a result of hoping Davis can play 3 downs. Why? Because they don't believe Davis can play 3 downs? I think the only person that believes Davis can't play 3 downs is Cilio. Davis is getting better and better. And Davis, you can't tell me a guy with that athletic skill and everything he accomplished last year can't play 3 downs. And this idea that they're not going to sign Jalen Carter, that Carter's on the outs, I don't believe it. Now, do the Eagles have certain concerns, and are things possibly holding up the contract? Yeah. But if the Eagles were really done with Carter like people act like, he would have been traded. They would have gotten rid of him in this offseason. They would have moved him this offseason. Jalen Carter's not going anywhere. The question is when will he get a contract? That depends on Carter, and I think how he comes into camp. I personally think they wanted to see what he did this offseason and how he looks. And the fact that he looks, like he put in the work, I think that's going to go a long way, and I do think he's going to get a contract. And you got people like Mark Holmes doing videos on me saying Philly 500 is saying that the Eagles want to be like the Cowboys and George Pickens. And I'm like, I literally said nothing about that at all. I did is I responded and commented my opinion on an article by Albert Breer who mentioned Pickens. Other than that, it had nothing to do with Pickens. He stinks. Anyways, I think a lot of this stuff is nonsense. Don't you guys see it? Like, let's get A.J. Brown out of Philly. So let's be negative all season on A.J. Brown. Then when that's done, we go back after Jalen Hurts, and then we'll be all negative on him. And then now let's go destroy the Jalen Carter situation. They want this team to be basically deconstructed. They want to be deconstructed, and they want to give everybody our talent. That's how I feel. Dallas Goonie, what's going on? So I'm besides myself with this shit, dude. I can't wait until certain things happen. It's going to be fun. I believe Jordan Davis can play 3 downs. I believe he's getting better and better, and I think his snaps will go up. And I don't think that's going to determine whether Carter's there or not. Maverick, thank you for the super chat. Hugh is tired of the bullshit, and so am I. As far as the Hugh Douglas stuff going on, I agreed what he said. But my only thing is this, hasn't Hugh Douglas been one of the guys bashing Hurts all offseason? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's just there and he's in the group talking about it and he's got no choice. But, I agree. I agree with Hugh, and it's take that, quarterbacks wins don't matter, or they're not, they shouldn't be a quarterback statistic. Like it or not, they are. Like it or not, they are. It's always been that way. Now, because Jalen Hurts won, we're going to change it? No. Quarterbacks get too much credit sometimes when teams win and lose. There's no question about it. But I'm sorry, there are just a lot of quarterbacks that will screw up games in big situations. Yeah, I don't agree with any of these takes anymore. G59, Hunter, thank you for super chat. This season needs to start yesterday. Go Birds. I agree. Linda, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Gotta love Howie. Grenard, a bit K, Epinenza, $9.5 million cap hit. Jalen Phillips cap hit on Panthers, $10 million. What a genius. Oh, yeah, it was definitely genius moves. I think depth-wise, it's fantastic. And I don't think he's necessarily done yet, Jacob says, keep hitting the Birds to keep winning. The Birds will be fine. I agree, man. It just boggles my mind. Like, the Eagles are all out of time. Everybody needs to go. And then you get a team like the Cowboys that win nothing for 30 years. Their quarterback's been in the league 11 years, doesn't do anything. And they've got years left to continue their crap. My only fear is if we don't extend Jalen Carter this year and he balls out, he has 24 season or better, and he asks for $40 million, and the price is too high, and we trade him. I think, me personally, I don't think there's any way the Eagles would do that. I think the Eagles will take the price hit on like a position like the edge rusher, and they will keep those 2 guys. I just don't think the Eagles draft guys. They don't trade up for guys in the top 10 and then get rid of them. It just doesn't happen unless the guy doesn't perform. James says, I stopped listening. Yeah, I hear you. I hope we get Crosby without giving up Carter. Only player okay to trade are Nolan Smith and Ojomo. Fly go fly. Agreed. Well, the whole trade Crosby for Carter thing is ridiculous. If you said to me, who do you want to keep right now? I'm keeping Jalen Carter because he's younger and I got more upside. I don't even understand why I would trade Carter for Crosby to begin with. I don't understand why people think the Eagles want to get rid of Carter. I don't think they want to get rid of Carter. I don't think they're happy with certain things, maybe off the field, maybe maturity issues, if we could even say that. I think that spitting incident had a lot to do with it. But I think these are things that are going to get worked out, and they're all part of contract negotiations. And I think people just need to chill out. Listen to me, trash our team, not five. No, it's every day, and it's like all season on A.J. Brown. As soon as A.J. Brown's going in, it was back on Hurts. Now it's back on Carter, and then who else will be next? No, they're saying if Davis can prove he could play 3 downs and develop a pass rush, then you assign Ojomo and get value for Carter, then you save a ton of money. But why would you want to do that? the real benefit is if Davis could play 3 downs and Carter is who Jalen Carter is, who's going to stop that? You know what I mean? Why would I take Ojomo? I like Ojomo, but he's not on Davis's level. I mean, he's not on Carter's level. To me, it's like when people said, "Oh, well, the Eagles have a great offensive line, and it doesn't matter who the running back is." And we heard that for years and years, and it was kind of like that. And you had a rotating chair at running backs. Then they go out and they get an actual talented running back to go with that line. And he has a historic year and you win a Super Bowl. If Jalen Carter is good and what he is, and Davis shows that he can be even better, why would you want to get rid of that advantage? That would be my point. You could redefine how people actually look at the defensive line. Because you're saying our interior defensive line is so dominating that we can get away with lesser paid guys on the edge, and we're okay. You know, I feel like I can't chill until you get this extension No, I get the stressing, and hearing all the people talk about it makes you stress even more. I totally get it. But what I'm saying is it just doesn't, like, if you play it out and you think about it logically, it doesn't really make sense what some people are saying. Because if the Eagles' plan was to move on from Carter, they would have done it. They would have already done it. They would have done it this all season. Not to mention this, but why would we get reports saying that the Eagles did not want to trade Carter in a Garrett trade? They did not want to do it. Like, those were the reports. I just think I think really that people want to tear this team up. With all the BS this offseason, I feel Chip coming. Pause. Oh, jeez. I think the Eagles are going to go out and win the damn Super Bowl. I think we're going far. I think we're going to shut a lot of people up. I think there's a lot of guys with chip on their shoulders this year, and it's gonna be glorious. Bird Gang, what's going on? Philly, what up? Philly sports being sucks, right? I hear you. Philly, saving money for what exactly? You pay talented players like Carter. Yeah, I mean, what's the point? Like, the whole reason you want to have money is so that you can get a guy 25 years old who's a top 10 pick, maybe top 2 talent in the draft. You want the money to pay a guy like that. Howie would get crucified if he traded Jalen Carter. Well, right now, I mean, to me, if you were going to trade Carter, wouldn't you have done it before the draft? Got yourself a couple first-round picks and maybe a player, whatever. Like why are you going to do it now? You know, why are you going to do it next year? Like, no, I think Jalen Carter is going to get a contract extension. And I think it's going to be either sometime during the season, maybe more likely sometime before the end of preseason. That's what I think is going to happen. But I do think it's okay to say, well, yeah, there are issues that the Eagles have with Carter in terms of contract. The Eagles do have concerns. Okay, but that doesn't mean you're going to just trade and get rid of the guy. Joe Gigalove acted surprised Hugh crash out like he isn't a hater stirs pot. Yeah, I mean, I agreed with Hugh Douglas. I agreed with him 100%. You can't sit there and say that all these other quarterbacks, they're great winners and they do things and they win. And then when you say that Jalen Hurts goes out and wins, it's not a player stat, it's a team stat. Well, it's only a team stat if it's Jalen Hurts. Everybody else gets the benefit of the doubt. 500, I love you show my man Mark Holmes is a hater. I hope we get Maxx Crosby. He will be a threat to the Rams. He would be a threat to the Rams. And Mark, like he could take something I did, a video I did. Literally take a video I did, get offended by it, and do another video on it, and claim that I said something about Pickens. I said nothing about Pickens. All I did was read an article. Sorry, I'm a little fired up today, I know. But I just can't help it. It just drives me nuts. If they wanted to get rid of Carter, they would have did it to get Garrett. Howie would have shut that down as Carter is here to stay. Agreed. Crosby not happening. You might be right. I'm not going to say it's definitely going to happen. I do think that the Eagles there are two teams I see in this sweepstakes. I believe it's the 49ers and the Eagles with maybe an outside chance of maybe there's an outside team, a sleeper team. But I think the two teams that most likely are going to get Crosby is going to be either the Eagles or the Niners. And we'll see how that goes. But for Jalen Carter, no. Like I heard Celio say today, straight up Carter for Crosby. What? I'm not. There's no way. No way I would do that. Eagles Uncensored, what's going on, my man? How are you? And Dylan Jordan, thank you for 27 months of membership, man. You are awesome. I appreciate that. What's the word for nothing? Really, the Eagles signed everybody. You know, look, it's June. You know, this is a time to kind of catch your breath, get ready for the season coming up. You know, I haven't been putting out a bunch of stuff, just giving a chance to catch my breath, and that's just the way it is. But there's not much going on. But I do think there are a few things that could happen. You know, Underdog Champs, welcome to Dingbat Nation, my man. Thank you so much. I've got a video. Damn it, it's late getting out. I got to get it out today once I'm done here. But thank you so much for joining. I appreciate that. The death threat, thank you for the super chat. I'll do Smith, a 28 first and a fourth and a 27 second for Crosby. Yeah, I mean, to me, that's a lot. Like, I could see 28 Smith and a fourth. But I think that 27, I think you're overpaying, you know? I do. So you don't have to pay Hurts $60 million. Love him or hate him, Hurts is not worth. You draft the quarterback and the new quarterback weapons. Well, what makes you think, though, that a quarterback that you draft is going to be as good? Like, Hurts has actually gone out and won and played well in 2 Super Bowls. There's no guaranteed with a rookie quarterback, you know? I'm not drafting a third-round quarterback. See, I get it. Like, a lot of teams go out and they spend all their money on a franchise quarterback. There's 2 ways to build a team, right? You could build a team, you get a franchise quarterback, he makes everybody better, you could win with him, blah, blah, blah. But the team has weaknesses and holes, but the quarterback can raise the level of everybody's play. Then you can get a good quarterback that has a great team around him, and you build the team around him, and then you can win that way. That, in a lot of ways, is harder to do because you've got to hit on more picks. But to go from a guy that has been to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years, won one, and say you don't want to pay him $60 million, well, I mean, how many quarterbacks at that point would actually you pay then? There would only be like 2. Other than that, everybody should go. Everybody should go with rookie quarterbacks, young quarterbacks. But it's very hard to do. I think it sounds good on paper, but it's very hard to do because you're trying to get a quarterback that hasn't played. Raiders would be making the same mistake if they take Carter. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the mistake about Carter is. I mean, where's the mistake with Carter? I don't know if that's what you're saying, but I mean, Carter said, "Philly, let's go win another Super Bowl," and guess what we did? Jedi Masters, yo 500. Can you shout out my wife? She graduated nursing school in May tomorrow. Is the big day. She takes her exam to become a registered nurse with her. Yeah, shout out. Hey, what's her name? What's her name? And I'll shout her out. Shout out to Jedi Master's wife. Congratulations on graduating nursing school. And good luck tomorrow on your big exam to be a registered nurse. And if you give me her name, I will shout her out. It's about the money. Carter's 35 plus anyways. If we lose him, we still have Ojomo. Yeah, but I still think there's a giant difference between Ojomo and Carter, though. You know? Like, I would rather pay 35 to Carter, 6 to Davis, and then pay a young edge rusher like a Jalen Hunt than go out and pay Ojomo. I think the difference between Ojomo and Carter is night and day. Like, I like Ojomo, but I do not think that Ojomo is that quality. The thing is I think a lot of times in sports, but in football too, A lot of things are about advantages, like matchups and advantages. And if you have two defensive tackles of the caliber of Jordan Davis and Carter playing at their peak talent and ability, I don't think there's teams that can match up with that in this league. The next shakedown will be probably the week before camp. We're on a break right now. No, the only news today, Daz, is the Eagles signed everybody. No AJ Brown, the offense will suck. Well, they're gonna have to answer that question. Let's be honest. They've got to answer that question. 5 pressure make diamonds. I hope this team uses the media pressure, goes out, and successful Super Bowl run, and more successful years to come. I agree with you. I agree. Carter has till the end of the season. No need to push anything. People need to relax. We will extend him at the appropriate time. Howie will never pay too early, but he's never too late. Yeah, I mean, look, I think the time you want to do it is sometime this year because you got 2 years left on the deal. When Howie does those extensions, he has it set up so they don't really kick in till after the other contract runs out. So I think the time to do it is around preseason. And I think it'll get done. I actually think it's going to get done. No offense, but you were insane. Are you insane? A healthy O-line, Barkley, Smitty, Goddard, Lemon, Wicks, Hollywood, Stellar, Tank, that's serious talent. Yeah, that's a lot. I don't think you were talking to me, but you're right. That is a lot of talent. Yo, 500, what up, man? When you think, when you and the wife move back over here, could you enjoy Takeover WIP, please? They need to go. Probably a few years. My youngest daughter, once she graduates, she's got 2 years left in high school. Once she graduates high school, we're gonna get serious about it. It's okay. We're all fired up. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's the other news of the day. There's no supplemental draft, so that quarterback, I forget his name, can't. He's gonna have to wait a year. So there are gonna be lawsuits and court stuff, all that. To me, that's another one of those. Oh, the Eagles are gonna replace Hurts with this kid, and that's the way it's got to be. Jalen Hurts I think he's $31 million against the cap this year. Here's a guy that literally said to his agent, hey, it's great. It's great that you went out and got me to be the highest paid quarterback, but I didn't need all that. We need to make sure that this team has the ability to sign players on this team, to put talent around me and build this roster out. I don't want to take up or use up all the cap. That's the kind of guy you're dealing with as your leader at quarterback. So whatever contract extension he's going to do, it's going to not just be good for him, it's also going to be good for the team. And I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, I agree. And I am not saying Carter, they don't have issues with him. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do, and I'm sure they're working it out. But you still don't just let him go. You don't just say, well, we got a defensive tackle in Jordan Davis, so we don't need Carter. We'll just keep Ajomo, and we'll spread it out. I don't know. I think building your team in a way that other teams can't match up is very appealing to me. I like what the Eagles did with the offensive line. Yeah, great offensive line. They for once said, you know what? We don't need a great running back. We can just go pay guys, not that much money, switch running backs. Everybody can run behind this offensive line. They didn't say that. They said, what if you put a talented running back with this offensive line? You saw it, a historic season. Why not build a defense where the two best players on your line are you're both interior guys? I think that's a very interesting way to build your team, and I don't think a lot of teams do it. And I think teams aren't built for that. Clint, thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate you. What up, big homie? Love the content. You keep me going till the birds start flying, man. Thank you so much, man. I truly appreciate that, man. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. You are a man. Thank you. Shout out to you. Watch Jalen get MVP and Smith. Wouldn't that be great? I'm telling you now, they don't want Jalen Hurts to win another Super Bowl. They got AJ. Now they're trying to destroy the defense. Believe me, about Hurts winning another bowl. It feels like it. It does. It really feels like the powers that be. They just, as soon as the Eagles, it was all season. Get rid of. We got to get AJ out of here. Now he's gone. Then it's like, let's turn our focus on Hurts for a few weeks. Now it's Carter. Now we're going to go after Carter. Then what? Once Carter goes, then what? What if this happens? What if you trade Jalen Carter and then Jalen Carter comes into his own and starts putting together a Hall of Fame career? How sick in your stomach would you be watching that? I would be sick. It would be sick. Crosby, Carter, Davis, Grenard, Dak is going to be his pants. I agree. I agree. Donna says, things are looking good. I'm excited to see the guys play. They'll be just fine. It's time to get used to things in game situations, but that's normal flight. Yeah, I agree. I'm actually really excited about this year. I think the Eagles are going to be way better than people think, and I think that I think there's a lot of people that are going to have to hopefully finally come to the realization that Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, that we need him, that guys like Carter, the Eagles do want him, and I hope we prove a lot of people wrong. Philly, a round of applause to the Commanders front office, who seem to completely botching having Jane Daniels, signing old wash veterans, and Ayuk likely going there to cause trouble. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Washington, but you're right. They're going to screw that whole thing up. They want first for what? Ain't having Philly more like 2 first-round picks and a third for what? For Crosby? Nobody's going to give the Raiders 2 first-round picks for Crosby. It won't happen. The Ravens have completely devastated that trade value. That's why he's still on the Raiders. They're trying to get enough time to go by and him healthy that they can rebuild his trade value. But they're not gonna get that. They'll never get that. Now, I would be shocked if any team gave that. 3-team trade. Eagles get a first from the Niners and Crosby. Niners get Jalen Carter and the Raiders get a first from the Niners, a second from... Why? You want to send Jalen Carter to the 49ers? Let me read this again. Maybe I read this wrong. Eagles get a first from the Niners and Crosby. Crosby's what? 29 years old this year, right? So he'll be playing at 29. Carter will be playing at 25. Niners get Jalen Carter and the Raiders get a first from the Niners and a second from the Eagles. I just would not understand that trade at all. Like the whole point to get Crosby is to play him with Jalen Carter. I really can't. I can't believe this is even like a discussion about Carter. Yo, Philly, can you shout? I read that already. Yeah, what's her name, Jedi Master? Let me catch up. I feel like I'm really behind here. Pause. No Diddy. G5900, I don't think I read this one. He said the season needs to start yesterday. Go Birds. Hell yeah. Death Threat, I read this. I read that one. Thank you for Super Chat. Thank you, Clint. Clint, I didn't see your second one. Thank you for the Super Chat. Hey, Bubba, you missed my last Super Chat. I did read it. I was just a little bit behind. You said, what up, big homie? Love the content. You keep me going till the birds start flying. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. Fabio David Super Chat, but man, he goes, pay Jalen early with the clause to option out and move the money to get Maxx for 3 years and still have to save money to pay Cooper and Mitchell. Yeah, I mean, the one thing about the money and how it works and how they renegotiate the contracts, like, I don't worry about how he handles that. How he's so good at that, man. I don't have to worry about it. I'm just trying to figure out why we want to get rid of all these guys. We just went to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years. We just won one. And we want to get rid of A.J. Brown, which we did. Now we want to get rid of Jalen Hurts. And we want to get rid of Jalen Carter. Like, why do we want to get rid of... Do you realize what we're saying? Get rid of your foundational pieces. It doesn't make any sense. And then to say, replace him with Maxx Crosby, who's 29 years old and has a beat-up knee. I don't think that makes any sense. How do you build a world champion doing that? You tell me, what teams trade Super Bowl winning quarterbacks away and win Super Bowls? Who does that? BMO says, I'm sorry, but these people are idiots. If they didn't trade Carter for Micah or Miles, why the F would they trade for Crosby? Agreed. Yeah, I agree. If you were going to move Carter, it would have been done already. I just don't get it. These fans are delusional. Mark Holmes is not really Eagle fan. It's crazy. Hey, everyone tripping, man. Get us to August and all these talks stop. Agreed. Dak is basically Goff. Put pressure on him. He's throwing 20 picks. Oh, I agree with you. Yeah, Cooper DeJean doesn't have a fifth-year option. So you got to get that done soon. There's no question about it. I would forever love Carter for that Rams snow playoff game. Oh, I know. You realize that the statistic is that only 46% of us in here are real people at this point. Crazy? That's who you're talking to, crazy bot? What do you mean, crazy bots? What does that mean? 46% of the people in here aren't real? Well, who the hell are they? What do you mean, bots? I never understood that. I'm stupid. I don't know. You mean just trolls? Or fake IA things? Well, like, what are we talking about here? I don't know what that means. Why are they trying to break the team down? We are not the Cowgirls. I don't know. But it just, Kevin, it just feels like it, doesn't it? I don't see how you trade Jalen Hurts away, then you trade Jalen Carter away. Like, how does that going to result in building a better team? David says, you have no idea how Carter will react to getting his money. The dude is a head case, and you don't know if he loves the game enough to play in shape. Crosby's a great player who will help for a year. Well, Crosby's also 29, and he's got questionably beat-up knees. And if his injuries, and Baltimore is correct, and his injuries are as bad as they seem, I don't see how you could take the risk. I would rather take the risk on Carter loving the game and maturing than knees that aren't good. So, no, either way, it's a risk, right? I mean, there's not one way that is the safest route. Trading for Crosby isn't necessarily the safest route. Look, I'm not in the Eagles locker room. I can't tell you on a daily basis what Carter is or isn't. But you have to trust the Eagles to figure that out. And to me, your first choice is to draft a guy in the top 10 that you trade up for. You keep him long term. Feeling we're becoming Dallas fans, letting good players leave. If we let Carter Walker trade, it's not going to happen, dude. It ain't going to happen. What about a 2028 second and a 2029? Wait, what about a 2027 and 2029 third? By 2022 can turn into a 2028 first if Crosby plays 35. Yeah, I mean, I think that would be beneficial to the Eagles. I don't know if the Raiders would want to do that, though. You know what I mean? I don't know if they would want to do it. People should know we are better than the Cowboys, and Jalen showed he's better than Dak when we won with Kellen Moore. Yeah, we're not allowed to say that anymore. The media is scared of the birds. It's that simple. It's true. I think you're right, because there was a whole campaign to get rid of Brown. Once that was done, it was turned to Hurts, and then now to Carter. I think, I think people are giving up on Carter way too early. Smitty going to make AJ regret writing those words on the wall, Slim Reaper season? I hope you're right. Phil, we'll get Colin Simmons from Texas next year. I don't know enough about him, so you'll have to tell me. 500, what's the deal with Brandon? Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like Brandon Graham's, there's a chance he's going to come back. So I think he probably will, but it probably won't be till after preseason. Like, I don't think he wants to go through all of preseason or anything like that. The only Pussy, please stop spamming. Should we go after Shador? No, I don't see a need to go after Shador. We're the American team now. We like us. We don't care. Exactly. By wise up, I mean, actually take his game to the next level. Carter is uber talented, but maybe isn't technically sound. Fix that and he'll throw dudes around. Yeah, I mean, look, Carter hasn't even come close to his ceiling yet. But you see the talent. And if I'm going to take a chance on going with a guy that's either 29 that has beat up knees or a 25-year-old that hasn't even scratched the surface, I'm going to take the 25-year-old. I also think that having Jordan Davis go through the process that he went through, I think one of the reasons you signed Davis is because I think he helps you with Carter. So hopefully that'll, all I can tell you is what I've seen of Carter this spring. I was watching him. They were showing people taking pictures with him at the World Cup or something. He looks like he's in great shape. He looks way different, like shape-wise than he did a year ago. So I think he's coming into camp in really good shape. We probably don't even need another defensive tackle. If Brandon came back, he was good on the line. No, I don't think they need it. But if you could get Crosby and pair him up with Carter and Davis, then I think you do it. But I don't want to play them set. I don't want Crosby at the expense of Carter. I mean, and that's just my opinion. Hey, 500, they might be bots are straight stupid. We got a monster Jalen Carter, trade him for a wounded puppy. Well, I can't say it's bots because I hear it on the radio. I hear it on other content creators talking about it. Like, I hear it with places that are obviously not bots. So people really believe that. The Eagles' success is not good for content, so the media is going to make this messy for views. Yeah, I guess. I guess. It's crazy. In my opinion, A.J. Brown was jealous that Saquon made history with the rush. Yeah, I've heard that theory. A lot of people feel that way. I mean, you might be right, You might be right. Hollywood Hogan forever. What is going on, man? How are you? Eagles are trading for JSN and Justin Jefferson, and then Joe Burrow, then Mahomes and Spider-Man, then Homer Simpson, all for a 10th rounder. La La Land is nice. Yeah, I can't wait to see all those guys wearing Eagles green. Cal Turd's still talking about the 1900s. I know. They're ridiculous, dude. Let's see here. $500, Carter is a monster. Remember watching Georgia tape? What people said about his potential coming out of the draft. You don't get rid of a guy like that. I don't think you get rid of him. I don't think the Eagles want to get rid of him. If there's something really, really troubling the Eagles about his character, then what team is going to take him? So I just don't buy it. You know what I mean? Loving life in Alaska. How's Alaska going right now? Jalen Carter is more important than the Eagles' edge rusher. Everyone knows interior pressure is most disruptive for a quarterback. Pay the bread man and stop trying to waste picks for Crosby. I agree. And I like the idea that you build your defensive line with two really, really good defensive tackles. I don't think a lot of teams can say that. And I think that could create some interesting mismatches. Mike says, AJ will be okay for maybe 1 year, then he will tear the team apart with drama, especially if Dobbs has a great game more yards than him or another receiver. I'm an Eagles fan, but I live in Nashville. Oh, okay. Now, shout out to Nashville. Yeah, I mean, it very well could happen. It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out there. You know, leave my friend Mark alone. What are you talking? Are you talking to me? Me leave Mark alone? Why would I leave a guy alone that does constant videos about me? Big D's and 5 weird thoughts on Mannion. I think Mannion. I think Mannion seems like Jalen really likes him. It sounds like from everything everybody says that he's actually, he knows what he's doing, and he's an up and coming young mind in the NFL, and I'm excited to give him a chance. I say do it. I'm very excited about that. But that's it. I mean, we haven't seen him play yet. I also think that people think that the Eagles are going to just completely change everything they do is not accurate. I think they'll make it work. But from everything we've seen and heard about Mannion so far, I'm very excited about him. But, at the end of the day, it's the same thing that I say to Mark about Christian Parker. Like, the guy hasn't called a play yet, hasn't done anything yet. So we've got to wait. There's reason to be hopeful and excited, but we got to see more, So we will. But I will say this, so one thing is I do think Jalen Hurts is going to have a big year. How big of a year? Let me show you. Prize Picks is America's #1 sportsbook app. It's the best place to win cash while watching sports. The app is really easy to use. All you have to do is pick more or less a player, get your lineup ready, then boom, you're locked in. And it's legal in almost all 50 states, including California, Florida, and Texas. And not only can you do players and pick players, they now offer team plays. And one of the things that I really like right now is I like the pick for MVP. That's right, MVP. Who's going to win it? With A.J. Brown getting traded and Jalen Hurts getting so much negative talk this year, I think it's going to motivate Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to be ready for a big year. That's why I'm taking Jalen Hurts to win MVP this year. That's my pick. I'm locking it in. If you like that or you want to do something similar, all you have to do is download the app, use code HMA, play your first $5 entry, and you'll get $50 instantly in lineups. That's $50 instantly in lineups on a $5 entry. Just use promo code HMA. Link is in the description. Shout out to Prize Picks. Shout out to Prize Picks sponsoring this video. I was gonna do a live pick, but I could not get my pictures to load, so I had to do that video. But shout out to them. Daniel C says, "What if Jihad is an edge though, and Trot Jr. does well?" I like Trotter Jr. I think he could start, and I think in a couple years he will be starting with Jihad. I don't know if Jihad Campbell's an edge rusher or not. Some people think he could do it. I don't know, but I'm interested in seeing what he does this year. I'm very excited about him. There's a lot of guys to be really excited about on this team, especially defensively. The Real Mr. International, 160K subscribers. That's some bullshit. It should be 175,000. Hit that like button, subscribe, prevent the shadow ban. Thank you, my man. Shout out to Mr. International. You are the man. Thank you so much. Rocky, thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate it. I love AJ, but it seems like the dark cloud that was hovering over this team is gone now since he's been traded. It does seem way more peaceful. It does, and I think it will be. So, yeah, it's interesting. To me, I was reading something. I don't know. They were talking about Devontae Smith, and that there may be more of a fractured of an A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith relationship than anything else. I don't know where that was coming from or true, but I did come across it. I wonder what was going on with that. And thank you for the super chat. Tiffany, what is going on? The nerve of people to come on somebody else's channel and tell them what to do. What are they trying to tell me to do now? What am I supposed to do? What do they want me to do? Big Gucci says, I'm glad Goodell grew some. Now everybody can stop dick riding Sorsby. The man literally bet on game he was in. He could kick rocks. Yeah, I mean, it's never good if you bet games that you were in, but at least he didn't bet against himself. That would have been really bad. Like, if you bet against yourself, that would have been bad. But you can't bet who games you're in. It's never going to work. 500, it seems like Mannion is changing a lot of stuff in our playbook. I think this will be the most unique playbook Kurtz has ever ran. We got to see how he responds. I agree. I think it will be. But I also think there are, like, simple things that you could add that Hurts could do that the Eagles wouldn't. Like, I think there's a lot in the short passing game. Quick, short passes. Maybe you get, 2 to 4 yards, something like that. They never take advantage of. They never try to do when teams give it to you all the time. Like, there are things like that, or using the running back out of the backfield, throwing over the middle. Like, these are things that people don't realize Hurts actually wants to do, but they haven't had a chance to. But I do. It is going to change some things, but I don't think as much as everybody thinks. Trade 2 first-round picks for Maxx Crosby. Trade 2 firsts for Maxx Crosby. Late round picks are not worth that much. If we could get Maxx Crosby and not lose any of our current players to cap casualties, would be unstoppable. I get what you're saying. I just don't think you have to give up 2. I think the damage was so done in Baltimore that if the Raiders could get a first round pick, just 1, I think they'll do that with something else. So I don't think it's going to cost you 2 because I think the Ravens screwed them. That's just my opinion. But I get your point from the point of view that you're picking late, most likely. He gave us some great years, so I wish him well, but he's ready to move on. He had to go, I guess. I love us, but I hate how if the only fan base who thinks every team's supposed to overpay for our players will underpay for their Howie's GM for a reason. Yeah. I think personally, I think every fan base does that. I don't think anybody does it more than Dallas, but I think every fan base overvalues their talent or their players. Because you see those guys all the time, more. But Howie's not gonna have a problem with that. Hey Philly, just joined. What's the word? Well, I guess if we go by what the title was, what the hell was the title? But the Eagles did it again, meaning they signed all their draft picks. So all our draft picks are now signed once again, and according to reports, we still remain one of the 2 teams in the sweepstakes for Crosby, whether it be the Niners and the Eagles. Will that happen? I don't know. And as far as best in the NFL, I think this defense could very well be the best defense in the NFL this year. I think this defense is going to be really, really good. And I think people are sleeping on them big time. And I think a lot of it's going to start with those 2 defensive tackles, one of them being the guy that everybody wants to trade. And then you're going to have, I think, Jihad Campbell takes the next step. I really like what we got in Rick Woolen. And I think that they're going to be good enough that even though they may need another safety, they'll be able to move on from it. So I like what we're doing here. Philly 500, I think we're the only team that can beat the Rams this year. Myles Garrett does. Yeah, I agree. I think we could, until the Rams can prove that they can beat us. I'm not picking against the Eagles. And the thing is Garrett makes them better. There's no question. But to me, see, the Rams did exactly what I think the Eagles got to avoid. Like, people say trade Jalen Carter for Crosby. I think the Rams kind of did that with Garrett. Like, why trade Jared Verse for Myles Garrett? Like, the idea is you want to have Jared Verse play with Myles Garrett. That's where the huge advantage comes. Sure, Garrett's an upgrade over Verse, but it's not so much of an upgrade that it changes the whole dynamic of the team. They still had a good pass rusher that they're replacing a better pass rusher with. But it doesn't really, to me, change the dynamic of the team. If you would have had Verse and Garrett, now you got something scary. To me, that's why the Eagles need to get Crosby and keep Carter. Eagles are going to get Crosby. I'm excited. Please, I think they're going to. I got a feeling they are too. The only trade bait I'm willing to discuss is Nolan Smith. No Carter, no Hurts. Stop the nonsense. I want to agree 1,000%, James. I agree with you. Prolific the Great, thank you for being here. Devontae Smith just got married in Disney. Jalen, AJ, everybody was there. Everyone's fine. Yeah, I heard everyone. I heard everybody was there. But apparently, there's no pictures of Hurts or Devontae and Brown together. I don't know, something weird like that. I heard. Rocky David Super Chat. AJ was at Smitty's wedding. Smitty posted pics. Did they show pics together? Look, I something happened last year with their relationship. Apparently, maybe not personal, but in terms of football and business, that I actually kind of believe was happening. If you go back and you look at some of the stuff during the year on the sideline, people were pointing it out. So I think there's a possibility something was up. Not saying that they're not friends or anything, but maybe more of a business partnership. Yo, Philly, I think we need to leave the Ross alone for a little while, see what we got. I think that's most likely what happens. I mean, I do think Crosby's in play, but I think like as far as safety goes, like they're going to go in with the safeties they have, and they're going to look at those guys and they're going to let them play. And if they need to upgrade from that point, they will. But they're going to go with what they have. So for the most part, I agree with you. The Crosby situation, though, I would entertain. You know, let me try to catch up here. I feel like I'm so behind in my chat. Eagles win the next Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is leader. Hell yeah. The real question is, was Brown with said therapist while he was in his now present? Yeah, he was. That's what they said. How many good years do you think we can get out of Maxx Crosby if his knee's messed up to the point where he's full? Yeah, I don't know. This is the issue I have with the whole thing is like, do we really believe the Ravens were correct? Is it that bad? I think Crosby's going to be 29 this year. I think you can probably get 3 years out of him. I think probably 3 years. You know, that would be my guess. You get three good years. What about sending Jalix? And I have no interest in trading Jalix Hunt. Like I think Jalix Hunt is a budding superstar. And he's a kind of guy that could go out and have 10 sacks this year would not surprise me. I do not want to move Jalix Hunt at all. And you know, Fangio loves him. Fangio loves him because he can cover and he can drop back. I don't want to trade him. I'd say I'm done with the Georgia players after Ringo and Nolan Smith. But to be honest, I love KJ Bolin next year. There you go. We're not getting Crosby. Raiders will keep him. They might. I think it's kind of going to be hard though, because the amount of guys they signed thinking Crosby was already gone. I think they're going to look to trade him. But who knows? Maybe if they don't get what they want, they won't. But there's no way they're getting 2 first-round picks now. I think the Ravens just didn't want to give up 2 first-rounders. Max is good. I agree. Yeah, I think they saw that they could get Trey Hendrickson cheaper, and they said, well, why not just get Hendrickson and not trade those 2 firsts away? I agree. Jalen Hurts about to load up MVP season, Super Bowl 61 champs, 3-time champs, as Jalen is a 2-time champ and make everyone hate us even more as Tush Push is broken again and we're so dominant Saquon's back. I think Saquon's going to have a big year. Jalen Carter contract after 26 seasons, 4 years, $132, $120 guaranteed, $33 million per year, and $1 million day one signing, but equaling term of one. I don't think that's that bad, really. You know, because one, you're getting the contract doesn't kick in for another year, so that gives you some flexibility. But I actually don't think that's bad at all. If they got that, I would do it. You know, Daniel says that Jalen's going to be that guy. You hear me out, right? I agree, Danielson. I agree, Jacob. Keep Jalen Hunt. I think Jalen Hunt's a stud, dude. I do. I don't believe Vic Fangio has any interest in trading Jalen Hunt anywhere. Me neither. Me neither. Yeah, I don't really know what you're talking about. So we'll just since you're so upset to be here, we'll just get rid of you. How about that? There you go. Now you don't have to worry about it. You can go. You don't even know what you're fucking talking about, you moron. I ain't willing to pay Carter and lose Hunt are two good corners. I ain't willing to pay Carter and lose Hunt why would you lose those guys? I don't understand why you think you're gonna lose them. What are you gonna lose them for? I don't get it. Why would you lose those? Toes, yeah, idiot. They don't even know what they're talking about. You know, I already went over the whole title. Eagles did it again. What did the Eagles do? Read the description. It's very simple. Eagles did it again. What did the Eagles do? They signed all their draft picks. Sweepstakes for Crosby. We already got reports of that. That is real. Best in the NFL. I'm specifically talking about the defense. That's my opinion. So they could kiss my ass. Let me see here. Where was I? Let's see. I don't know where I left off here, so I'm going to read these over. Clint Huber, thank you for super chat. Well, big homie, love the content. Keep me going till the birds start flying. I did read that one. Thank you. Clinton said you missed my super chat. Thank you, man. I got that. Fabio said pay Jalen early, calls option out, and move the money down to get 3 years and still have some money paid. No, I agree with that, and I think I read that as well. Rocky said I love AJ. Seems like yeah, I definitely read that one. So I'm right here. This is where now we're all caught up. Flipping the bird, thank you for the super chat, my man. 2027 second, Nolan Smith, and a 2028 fourth for Crosby. Yeah, I mean, I love that. I would love to do that. I can't tell you the Raiders would do that, but I like it. Yeah, I like it. I mean, you know, from an Eagles perspective, I just think you're going to have to give the Raiders a first. I don't think they can get 2 firsts. I think they'd be okay with 1, and I think you're going to have to do that. Junior says, I love the content. Let's go with thank you, my man. Appreciate you. Bet Mark. I'll bet Mark whatever. I have no problem bet Mark. Bill Cilio's detox have been getting excited about this season. But if you're saying why we didn't draft the O-line early, it's because Howie didn't see value. I would have to assume that the best player available when he drafted was Lemon. I got to believe that was the case, you know, and so that's why he didn't. He shaves his head and your beard. That's fine. Well, what do we bet? Like, what's the bet? What am I supposed to be betting with him? That Dallas is going to be good? I'll bet that any day of the week. Dallas, because you know Dallas is going to stink. We all know that they're going to stink. You know it. I know it. The world knows it. We need that belt back. Yeah, we definitely need to get that belt back. I don't think Mark Holmes' son, he doesn't want to do the belt bets. What's his face doesn't want to do the belt bets. I'm going to have to go make my own belt this year. You actually want to make... No, I don't, really. What up, Nad? Dan Marino has no Super Bowl MVPs, not on Jalen Hurts level excellence. What are you, trolling? Philly Matt celebrates 8 months of membership. Thank you so much. 500. What is Crosby worth to you? A first, second, Smith. I think Crosby's worth at max value. I think a 2028 first and Nolan Smith. To me, that should get it done. I feel like anything more, maybe you throw in a mid-round pick, but I probably wouldn't go any higher than that. That I'm telling you, like, my limit. I wouldn't go any higher than that. I am not trading Jalen Carter. I can tell you that. You're gonna make your own belt, definitely. They do. Yeah, I might as well make one and start doing it because I'm not afraid to pass the thing around, But they are. Bet who wins the division? I don't know if Mark would want anything of that. So what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't pay Carter if it means I can't keep Ojomo, Hunt, Q, and Coop. And then our linebackers. I want to keep the young, good homegrown players. I'm not willing to let up. No, I get it. I get what you're saying. You're not saying don't do it. You're saying that if it came to where you have to let other guys go. I get it. I don't think you can. I don't think you have to lose Hunt. I don't think you have to lose Q or Coop. Ojomo, I'm not sure about. It depends what kind of year he has. I mean, if he goes out and has Milton Williams type year that he had his last year, then he's going to go get $26 million. But otherwise, it may be doable. I do think you should try. I do think the Eagles should try to get Hunt done. Like I would try to get Hunt done as soon as possible because you may be able to get him at a good value. So I would try that, But I get what you're saying. I think Nolan Smith draft, like, capital wise, maybe a late second, early third, somewhere in there, and dropping fast. But if you throw him in with like another first, I think that would be very valuable. The thing with Nolan Smith is, I like Jalen Hunt a lot, but I don't want to just shut the door on Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith, if he's healthy and he can play, it wouldn't surprise me. He showed me during that run in the playoffs where we won the Super Bowl, he showed you what he could do. You see the talent there. He's just got to stay healthy and put it together on the field. Yeah, the Giants belt was what's his face? And God, I can't remember his name. It was Pizzles. I forgot Pizzles' name for a second. It was Pizzles' belt, and once he got it back, he didn't want to risk it again. I like Ojomo, but I don't think Ojomo's on the level of Carter or Davis. Leo, where you been? What's going on? What's good, bro? Been on the mix. I'm fine with Nolan and a 1. Good to see you, Leo. Shout out to the bird section. Everybody go sub them up if you have not. Leo is the man. But I mean, it'll be interesting, It'll be interesting. Who knows? But I am gonna end this. I do got some things to do. I will be back live tomorrow. I'm not going to do a video tomorrow because I'm going to be going on Cilio's show. So I will be live tomorrow for a live stream again. So we'll be doing another live stream, and we'll see what happens. I'm sure they're going to be talking about getting rid of Carter and all this crap. I'm not down with any of that. Whereas Bad Dog has been a happy dog. His Knicks won the championship. Okay, Barbie. I will see you. I should be live around 3 tomorrow, or 3 Eastern, somewhere around there. All right, Revego, thank you. And it's going to be interesting. That did come out right. I think y'all understand what I'm saying. Jalen Carter's DNA went to Philly, got a Super Bowl. Winner. And I do think that it matters. I do think some guys win, some guys don't. I do think it matters. Carter said, "Let's win another championship in Philly." He delivered. Carter's gonna show a lot of people this year. Yeah, shout out to my boy Leo. I haven't seen Leo in a few days. I was like, "Where's Leo? Where's my man? Did Mark Holmes steal him?" Let's see. Tell Sills to wake up and take the boys' jersey down when we win. I will. Oh, there you go. He texted me already. You have time, bro? Yes. All right. All right, so we on for tomorrow with him. But anyways, guys, you have a great day. I will see you later. We'll be back tomorrow with a live stream, so look for that. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Until then, let the losers take us out. Peace.
Come on, guys.
2 minutes to go. You have plenty of time.
Come on.
Oh, shit! Dad, no!
It's over! It's over! This game is over! Cut it off, it's over!
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay!
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak!
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott! Trying to feed the Lamb! Trying to feed the sea Lamb! You tried to feed the sea Lamb! You got to give it to sea Lamb! God! It's over! It's over, Dak! Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking. Cut it off. It's over.